traveler.
I have no time for games.
The end is coming! Who am I?
Let me change your mind.
You require my assistance? Adios! We're gonna be rich.
I have no time for games.
Inferno! You require my assistance? Who am I?
Let me change your mind.
Good evening, everybody. It is Wednesday. You know what that means. Yes, you get to start making hump day jokes. Yes, we are one day closer to the weekend, and yes, you know what? I got nothing for the third one, but that's okay. The most important part about it being Wednesday is that it is time for another episode of Tavern Talk, the show where we like to make bad takes and hot takes alike, sometimes simultaneously, depending on the week. I am, of course, one of your hosts, J.R. Juggerlaw, and with me tonight, I've got some fantastic people by my side. As always, we've got the we've got the master of OPs, the man who is not part doctor, but is definitely part fish. Say hello to Dr. Fish.
Hello, everybody. I'm excited to be here. We have a lot going on this week because it's playoff time.
Yes, it is. It is playoff week, and we're going to have plenty to talk about. Oh, and thank you, Jess Bean, for the tier 1 subscription, for the 3-month sub. Thank you so much. Next up, of course, we've got the man who, as I've said before, I have compared to both an element and a flower. Say hello to Geranium Battle.
Oh, what? Sorry. I'm definitely not playing Mercenaries right now. I'm
Oh boy.
Good boy.
everything's cool. It's a great grindy game mode, and definitely not taking all over my life. What's going on with everyone else though?
Geranium, do you need an intervention?
No, they just need to remove the game, please.
Okay, fair enough. And of course, we've got a very special guest tonight. Now, you may know this man by many names. You may know him as the founder of HSA. You may know him as a 4-time Legacy champion. You may also know him by that magnificent beard he is showing off tonight, because my God, is it wonderful. But either way, we all know him as the one and only Sage. Say hi to everybody, Sage.
How's it going, THL? Good to see y'all again. Nice to be on. I almost forgot I had volunteered for this. Yeah, no, I got a ping and they were like, "You're available tonight, right?" I was like, "Yeah, oh yeah." I was just
Yeah,
wondering
we're
if I could do this
gonna
tonight.
pretend I remembered then and knew about this the entire time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
Great
it
if I
works out
could
either way
hire
for us,
interview
doesn't
for
it?
you.
yeah, I've got my Wednesdays freed up here for a couple weeks, so I mean, I figured I'd try to hop back on one of these days.
Hell yeah.
But I'm glad to be here. Thanks for having me, guys.
We are always happy to have you on the show. I
What
mean,
what
anyone who doesn't know
what?
who this man is, for one thing, needs to re-educate themselves in THL history. Just gonna say that now.
Yeah.
So, but
What?
but on to the important stuff, because we have a lot to talk about tonight. So, as you guys all know, when we said this last week, this is the start of Legacy and Pro Series playoffs. And we've got some interesting stuff going on for that, because both of these series are actually playing in somewhat different playoff formats. For Legacy, we've got ourselves 4 matches that are taking place, and after this week will be the quarterfinals, where there are 4 teams with byes and 8 teams that have to play for their spot in the top 8. For Pro Series, it's just the top 8 teams. Pretty straightforward, 4 matches, and we'll see where that ultimately takes us. But before we get to either of those series, we are going to talk about the Hero series, and we were kind of all in agreement on the matches we thought should be discussed today. But before we do that, let's go take a quick look at the Hero team standings going into the playoff picture, as there are only 2 weeks left. There's one more week of the regular season after this week, so we're gonna let Dr. Fish pull that up. Now, as you can see, we've got ourselves quite a fight for some of the spots here. Now, as we've said before, for those who are unfamiliar, Hero Series playoffs is going by a top 6 format, where the top 6 teams make playoffs, but the top 2 teams will get a bye into the top 4, with the 3 through 6 place teams playing it out for the remaining spots in the top 4. This is the exact format that was used last season, so if this is sounding very familiar, like deja vu, that's because it is. If we look at the standings right now, though, it is intense. The top 4 spots right now, I would say, are probably the most contested. We've got At Diamond coming in at first with 154 points. F2L Black, in second with 149. Even without Turt, we must still skirt in third with 143. Bands Make 'em Dance at fourth with 141. And then the 5th and 6th place spots are currently being held by Dad Legend with 134 points and Bolner Jam 03 with 132 points. That 6th place is the cutoff, of course, for playoffs, and right behind them is anyone playing Maestra with 127 points. So it feels like it's kind of anybody's game in terms of those last few spots. The only teams that I feel very confident are realistically locked into those playoff spots are the top 4 teams, but we'll see. Some of these teams could have big weeks and turn things around. Guys, what are you thinking of the Heroes standing so far?
Yeah, I mean, anyone playing Maestra is the 7th place team, and At Diamond are 27 points ahead of that. So, going to be extremely hard for them, for At Diamond or F2L Black to miss playoffs. And it's going to be extremely hard for teams at the bottom, like Snakes on a Campaign, like Mast, to make playoffs, with them being a full 30 points behind Boulder Jams 0-3. But still, so many teams are in the running for Hero Series that it's just an exciting last 2 weeks to see, like, is anyone going to get spoiled out of playoffs?
Yes, I would agree with that, and it definitely feels like we're going to have a much bigger picture as far as what the playoffs are going to be looking like after this week. Now, Sage, of course. Now, Sage, remind me. I think, yes, you, of course, are the captain. That's what I thought. The captain of Vote of Some Confidence. You guys
Yes,
are surprisingly struggling this season. How would you describe how you
yeah,
felt about your season?
I think they're doing, like, as a team, you know, in the team setting in the Discord, everybody's participating, everybody's playing. You know, honestly, I'm really happy with how they're doing as a team. But, you know, like, overall points wise, we are definitely struggling. I think some of the players are just kind of having, like, they've been, like, struggling on their own. But we've had some good weeks. Uh, and just about every week that we've lost, I think, with maybe the exception of one, it's been really close. Like, against everybody, it's always been really close. Like, we've only lost by like a couple points.
Right.
So, like, we're 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 I wouldn't put it past us to be able to still eke out a win against just about anybody, but I I'm not sure we're gonna make playoffs this season. I'd love it if we did. That'd be awesome.
Right.
But I just really want the guys to keep their heads up and keep on trying, you know, keep working through it. Because I mean, they're doing good. As a team, they're doing good. I'm happy with them. It's just we're definitely struggling this season.
Yeah, no, I mean, you guys are in a very similar position to my team right now, which is like you're not out of it, but it's definitely going to take some big
Yeah.
weeks in order to put us in playoff contention. And it's also going to really depend on how the other teams that are ahead of us perform. Now, like, the good news is for us, like, we'll get to these matches, but like Dad, Legend, and Boulder Jams, the fifth and sixth place teams have some tough matches ahead of them this week. So I feel like that could easily work to some other teams' favors, especially looking at the current standings. But I mean, anything can happen, as they say.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, definitely.
Fish, do you have anything you would like to add?
Not in particular. I mean, I think you guys have said a lot.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, I will just point out that one of the things I find particularly interesting about this is the fact that most of the teams in this season have at least 4 losses. There are only 2 teams this season that have not lost at least 4 times. Like, even you look at the second and third place teams; those teams are 5-4, and that's not a bad record by any stretch of the imagination. But you'd think they'd have a better record with that kind of standing. So it kind of goes to show how teams are really capitalizing on just getting as many points as they can. The match result isn't always being the big deciding factor here.
Yeah, it also just shows how competitive Hero is. It's like a bunch of crabs in a barrel just pulling each other down all the time. Everyone is winning, everyone is losing.
Crabs in a barrel. I gotta remember that one. Can't say I've ever heard of that one before.
Yeah, it's the way crabs act when they're in a barrel. One could get out right on its own, but they keep grabbing each other and pulling each other back down.
That's fair. I mean, I get it. I'm just now surprised I've never actually heard that expression before.
I haven't heard it in a long time, to be
Figure.
fair.
Well, I mean, there you go.
Boomer expressions in here and shit.
Hey, only one of us is a boomer, I think. Actually, Sage, technically we'd both be boomers because I think we're like the same age.
Yeah.
So, make that what you will, I suppose. Anyway, well, I think that covers the good discussion of the playoff picture. So let's move on to the matches themselves. We've got 3 matches that are definitely going to be pretty impactful this week. We'll be starting off with my match, which I decided to go over F2L Black and Bolner Jam 03. This one is definitely very exciting. As I said before, we've got F2L Black, who are currently in second place, and they've got the same record as Bowler Jams, but they've actually got 17 more points than them, which is a pretty substantial number. And we already see that there is a result. Itachi beat Donde 3-1, and is giving F2L Black the very early lead. And I'm very curious to see if that continues. And now it feels like that's a pretty big start, a pretty good start. And it's a question of, are they going to maintain that momentum? I think if F2L Black win this week, they definitely lock up that playoff spot, and they have a really good shot of staying in the top two. At this point, I think this is going to be very interesting also as far as the matchups themselves go, because Neji versus Ron, that's going to be a big one. Neji is obviously struggling this season, which is not something you really ever say about him. As well, and Ron, of course, having a pretty solid hero season. Like, these guys are having kind of opposing seasons. Neji's having a good season had an amazing legacy run, 9-0, but can't seem to pull it together in hero. And Ron was able to pull it together in hero, but couldn't quite pull it together in legacy. How about that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Neji Boston is doing so well in the other series and less well in hero, but because he has 2 more weeks in hero, he can still make it to the top of the crossover standings, which is maybe what he cares about.
The 4 series bump. No, yeah. Neji finishing out his other series pretty strong. 500 in pro, or 50% in pro, and then 9-0 in legacy. 6-3 in wild or something like that. But yeah, this is an exciting match. They're playing on stream this week too, which I'll go over later on, like at the end of it. I'll give the rundown. But yeah, I'm excited to see that match played out on stream.
Yeah, it should be a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's one we definitely want to see on stream.
Speaking as one of the many teams that is below Bowler Jam 0-3 in the standings, man, do I hope F2L Black wins hard.
I hope we.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like unfortunate because I love both these teams, but like in terms of what's going to be better for my hero team, yeah, I need Bowler Jams to lose here.
Well, I'm on the other side of the fence here. I'm rooting for Bowler Jams, all right, because it's all my boys. I mean, you got Ron, Donde, Ted, Enfal, Quaz. Like, come on.
I mean, nobody's saying we don't love those boys, but you know.
Oh, I can't. Like, I know I should have some bias here and hope they fail, but I can't. I can't do that to them. All right, like I think no, I can't. I think they're gonna take it. All right, like the rest of the way down, they're just gonna win it. They're gonna knock it out of the park. They're gonna be like, all right, F2L Black, just sit back. Let us secure our playoff spot.
I mean, you make a valid point, I suppose, but
one of the tragic things about this week, though, is that Itachi stole my only correct prediction away.
I'm sorry. I can't help it. Itachi either sometimes just plays very early in the week. So I can't help it.
I mean, when I played him in Legacy,
I played Monday.
We played that Monday.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. He played this one last night.
I believe it.
It was good. It was, for me, it was good news to be checking Discord and seeing, that he took a lead and he never gave it up in the series. So, congrats to him. The rest of us are going to work hard this week to secure playoffs. I don't think we can secure bye yet, but we can almost secure playoffs this week.
I mean, that's the thing. Looking at the standings though, if you guys win this week, then you're basically guaranteeing yourselves to be ahead of all the other teams. And what's pretty important about that and pretty noteworthy is that it makes it that much harder for them to just close that gap in 1 week. So
yeah, it does.
It's going to depend on how much of a lead you have over the other teams. But this week could definitely, at the very least, make it much harder for anybody to pass you.
For sure. Yeah. I think I mean obviously besides my match, I'm looking forward to Neji. Yeah, like I said, Neji versus Ron.
I mean that match everybody should be looking forward to. That's just a
Yeah.
no-brainer right there. And I guess let's move on to the next match, shall we? This would be Geranium's pick.
Of course, of course. Well, you brought up F12 Black versus Boulder Jam 03. I'm going to talk about bands. Make 'em dance versus no pros here. I would. I think now because it's Roadrunner, it would probably make more sense to make it Barnes make 'em hoedown. But
Eh.
it's fine. Bands make 'em dance is going to be how it stays, and I think they're going to stay winning. I mean, they are very consistently just. You can see every single person up and down the roster is winning overall. Roadrunner had a little hiccup last week, but he's been out with a vengeance ever since he didn't get picked at the start of the season, and yeah, the versus no pros here, the team that is just Agent Pee Wee and then 4 cardboard cutouts. So I think it's I think bands make 'em dance is going to maybe seal No Pros Here's fate to not make playoffs this week, especially with Astrofog already taking it over Pasca. But that doesn't mean I'm not excited to see Nails versus Your Mom Kid, to see Basting versus Agent PWE, just because they're all such high power players, anyways. And I know that Your Mom Kid will not go down without a fight.
No, this is true. I think for this match, there's a lot of matches that are this week that are basically, like teams are at the point where they have to win to have even a shot of still making playoffs, based upon the point gaps that we're seeing right now. And NPH definitely falls within that category of they definitely need to win this. Bands at
Yeah,
the
they
moment, bands are in a fairly comfortable position. As long as they don't have any like big losses either this week or next week, I feel very confident saying they're going to make it just because of how many teams would have to pass them. But admittedly, that's also somewhat dependent on how Dad Legend and Bowler Jams do this week. So
I'm pretty much right there with you. Like NPH needs to win this week, so I think we can expect them to try to put in a good showing. It looks like, honestly, I don't feel great for NPH's chances here because Bands is like they're killing it. They're having a great season.
yeah.
I I want to root for Pee Wee at least because his record is so good, but that means rooting against Based, and Based is my girl. I can't root against Based.
You're
So
not the only person
yeah.
who says that on this show.
As a reminder,
I mean,
no
it's
Pro
both
Series
funny and
opponents in
true.
the last as a reminder, no Pro Series opponents in the last week are going to be at Diamond, which is the top team.
Oof.
Oh my
So
God.
Oof.
even with a good showing this week, I'm not sure about his.
Good looking, PH. Oh my goodness.
Oh
Yeah,
damn.
they need to they need to really bring out the special sauce, I think.
What is the special
Shoe,
sauce though?
Adderall. I don't
Whoa.
know.
I mean that'll do. That'll do, pig. That'll do.
That'll do it. Oh my goodness. But yeah,
I'm gonna
NPH
say,
is
like,
in
in
for a
terms
rough
of
time.
predictions, though, I do have to say I am definitely giving this one to Bands. I do think that Shu and Snake Fods are going to win their matches, but I just think that Based and Nails are going to win in the 1 and 2 and give Bands the win here. I don't think it's impossible, but I also agree that with Geranium that they've got a tall task ahead of them next week, knowing that they got to play at Diamond as well, and that is going to be that's going to be rough for sure.
Yeah.
So
We've got really good matches down the line here. I think the two I'm obviously like gonna be paying attention to Based versus Agent. That's a great match for sure. And then I want to see Seth. I'm gonna be paying attention to Seth versus Shu because Seth is a phenomenal player. He mainly plays wild, but he's a very good player all around. So I think Shu has his work cut out for him this week.
I think that matchup is probably the one where it's going to hinge on that because, like, realistically speaking, Pee Wee probably going to take it in the one, right? And then we see like Nails take it in the two. Roadrunner's probably going to take it in the five, and so it'll hinge on Chewbacca winning or not if MPH can eke it out this week.
Yeah, I can see that being the case.
Mm-hmm.
So good luck, Chew. It's all on you, man.
Speaking of at Diamond, though, we got to keep moving along. What is the last match?
Oh my goodness, you're right. It's at Diamond versus Dad Legend. Wow.
Yes,
And I'll tell you what, this is a pretty hardcore little matchup right here. We got in the one, always just in time versus Isocles. In the two, Lotus Knight versus Starlax. In the three, Mick versus Corrodin. And in the four, Diamond himself versus Yellow Dart. The captains. Captain, this is some captain on captain action right here, man. I'll tell you what. And in the five, Roofski versus Risen. And this is going to be a tough one. And they've already got a result in with Mick taking it 3-0 over Corrodin. That is a tough way to start out if you're Dad Legend. Which I mean, Dad Legend, they're not doing too bad right now. They're already in the top six. So I
Sage,
mean,
Sage,
what?
who's this Corridon you speak of? The only person I know of is Cora Dad.
Or Dad? Oh.
I won't let it die. I won't.
Uh, but anyways, Dad Legend, yeah, they're off to a rough start this week. But if they can just bring it back and not let Diamond peel any more sweeps off of them, then I think they should be all right. You know, especially if they can get a sweep right back at them. That'd be a good time. Oh, as far as the way I think it would go, oh my goodness, now that's a really tough call because Diamond is having a killer season. They're doing too good. Uh, I'd say Diamond would take it in the one. They've already taken it in the three, the four, and it comes down to the two and five. Like those are the ones that it's tough. It's tough to pick. I think Starlax probably takes it in the two, and in the five, that's really tough. I mean, they're pretty evenly matched, but probably Risen. So that would be, yeah, that would be Diamond taking it 3-2 over him. I want to root for Dad Legend, but realistically here, Diamond's probably going to win. Prove me wrong, Dad Legend, please.
Yeah,
Mm.
I think Dad Legend had a good. I think if Corden had gotten the win, I think uh it would be a plausibility for
It
it to
would be a very
be a
different
win
story.
for Dad Legend. I mean, Justin versus Isocles is going to be interesting. Like Justin's a very very smart player. He's very good at the game. He hasn't been playing all too much lately, but I mean, he's been like he played on stream a couple weeks ago. And, just picked apart his opponent and played very well the entire time.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Justin just got first place in the tournament earlier today. Like, I feel like he's pretty favored.
Yeah,
But
yeah, he did.
But that doesn't mean the Dad Legend can't pull some upsets. We do have a lot covered tonight, though, with all these playoffs.
Yeah, for sure.
Final thoughts?
I'm interested in Diamond versus Dart because
Me too.
yeah, I mean Diamond 7-2. He's sitting with a really nice season. I want to see if he can keep it up.
I mean, I wouldn't put it past Dart to get a win here, but Diamond is killing it.
Hmm.
Well, then I think
All right.
Legacy.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's
Legacy
it. That's
I don't know what
playoffs
else
are
I can
going.
add.
that's
Yeah.
yeah, that's it for Hero. So we're gonna move on to Legacy playoffs, and we're gonna start with the playoff picture.
Yeah, yeah.
Is it up yet? Oh,
Yes, sorry.
okay.
Yeah, I
Yes.
yes.
Just
So
in case you don't recognize what the teams are in along the top, it's Golden Wisps, Seek Guidance, Wallet Warriors, APM,
Mhm.
as in
those are our 4 buy teams.
yep. And then in the upper left, that is Agent PLA and the Light Towers versus IDK. That's Eldon's Death Knights. In the top right, that's Blue Fish versus Dirty Mike and the Boys. Bottom, sorry, didn't mean to invoke Fish.
No, you're good.
In the bottom left, that's the Cult Legacy versus F2L White. And in the bottom right, that is Defias Brotherhood versus Just in Team Justin.
Yes. All right. So
I made this graphic and I don't even know how to read it.
no, I love it. It's a good graphic. I like that you added the point totals that each team got. It kind of adds a comparison to look at.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is. As you can see along the top, this is there's no bracket yet because it's going to be reseeded.
Yeah.
And the point totals are on there because it matters. All of it matters. If you have the most points after this
Yeah.
first week, then you play a different team.
Correct. The points do still stack up. So that will very much be relevant.
So yeah, since we're going to be covering every single playoff match, I think we can just quickly do a who's which side we think is winning each one, and then hop into those.
Yep. So which one are we going to start with?
I'll just go with Agent PLA versus IDK, and I mean, JR, you're on this. You're on the show right now too. I think it's going
Yes, I
Agent
am.
PLA's way.
I think it's going IDK's way, even though I am prepared to be proven wrong.
Well, I certainly
But I
like
gotta
the look
support
of
my
Agent
boys.
PLE and the light showers here. My goodness.
I'm slightly bummed. Slightly bummed.
Yeah, they're 1, 2, 3 or practically defeated, undefeated.
Don't remind me.
I've certainly been defeated as the three.
Well, I mean, they've got
No, who's
9
this
losses.
JR Juggernaut guy? JR Juggerlaw. Oh my goodness, that can't be good.
I mean,
I don't
I
know,
gotta
I
go
got-
up against
I got
Nails.
lost.
If I pull off a victory there, it's gonna take some insane plays on my end.
You can do it.
I
Come
know
on.
I can, but it's gonna be tough. I've played Nail. I have actually never played Nails in Conquest format, so I'm curious to see how that goes.
Wait, is that Bitbeaker?
Yes, it is.
Really?
Yes.
My goodness, he's the guy who got me into THL. What a guy!
There you go.
I didn't know he was playing again.
Yeah, no, he
Mr.
he was
Mr.
previously
Explosive
playing for
Sheeps
AFG.
himself.
Well, good luck, Bitbeaker. I'm sure you're gonna get swept.
Wow.
That's
That's
a little.
cold. And I'm telling him
Whoa.
you said that, and he's going to use it as motivation to beat Canoe. So I hope you're proud of yourself, Sage.
Cheers.
Okay. Enough smack talk between for this match. We don't need the smack talk for us to beat you. We can move on to Bluefish.
Oh, I see how it is.
So, I mean, there's already a result in. Bluefish is already up on points. I think it's going to be Bluefish this week here.
And that's all it takes.
I'm gonna say it's gonna go to my boys, Dirty Mike and the boys. Lefty's my hero captain. Love the man, and I want to see these guys make it to another final. If my team loses, I want them to win at least.
You know, I just love the way DMB always makes their teams. It reminds me, like, just that team composition where everybody's about the same PR is just a beautiful thing to see in action. I'm gonna root for DMB here too. I want him to win.
Mm, yeah, yeah. I also feel like based upon the matches left, this really is anybody's game.
I mean, it could be, yeah.
For the Cult Legacy versus F2L White, though, I think that is quite a bit closer, especially with F2L's explosive week and Cult just coming off of a loss.
Mm.
Uh, so I still think that the top seeds of the Cult Legacy are going to just power through. So I think it's going to go barely the Cult Legacy's way.
Oh my God, Quaz and Sharkbait, they're both positive. Didn't they just have a child together?
Yes. Like last season, but yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's player unity right there.
Hashtag parenting goals.
yeah, for real. Well, that's some relationship goals right there.
That too. Yes, that too. No, I mean they're doing really well. I think even though T-Stew and Rice Bowl are the only players that are kind of struggling, I think they're doing well enough that I feel confident saying the Cult Legacy is going to take this one. Even though F2L White is obviously also having a pretty strong season, and their players are doing pretty solid across the board.
Why am I seeing this twice in a row? But I could agree with you, JR. All right, I like the Colt here.
Oh, come on. You act like you've never agreed with me before.
Have I? I just did 5 minutes ago. Not
I'm
even.
talking about before tonight. You're a wise guy, you know that?
Yeah.
Don't make me take back every nice thing I said about you before.
You might be the only person to say nice things about me. I appreciate you, JR.
I don't believe that, but okay. Actually, no. I don't just not believe that. I refuse to believe it.
Okay.
Speaking of being a wise guy, being a sage, I actually would love to know how you guys feel about Defias versus Team Justin, because they're even on points. Defias has both. Team Justin is coming just off of a loss, but mostly they've been winning the past few weeks, whereas sort of the opposite for Defias. They've lost the past few weeks, but are coming just off a huge win. And being tied like this, I think that like all the powerful players are still there. I think I want to give it slightly to Team Justin, but it's very close.
It is super close. These teams are practically identical, like in record down the board. There's like a couple spots where like they flip flop a little bit, but outside of that, like it's like the same team up and down points wise. My goodness, what a trip. Yeah, this is a really tough pick.
Yeah.
I kind of want to give it to Defias here, to be honest with you, but like just barely.
This is so close and hard to call, but I'm going to give the slight edge to Defias as well, only because these guys have been pretty solid the last few seasons, and I could definitely see them really bringing it home.
And I want to say it's mostly because they have like more people that have a positive record than Team Justin does, but like that's like just one more person has a positive record.
Exactly.
But like they're even.
They're practically even, essentially.
They're neck and neck. This could go either way.
And all of these matchups feel very close. Maybe you could argue the 1 seed match is rather favored towards always just in time because it's always just in time. But Wild 9 has proved he's a fierce opponent in the one, so I don't even
I
know if
know.
that's a fair statement.
I'm really
I-
surprised to see Wild 9 with a negative record. Like this guy,
Yeah.
I've had my eye on him since he joined THL because he has
Yep.
just been knocking it out of the park every season. It's like he's finally having a down season, but he's still. I wouldn't. I'm dizzy.
Yeah, quick reminder. He came into THL with like a somewhere between like a 350 and a 400 PR in the 3 seed, and he's increased that about 200 PR at least. So that's
The
pretty
guy's a
impressive.
monster.
Yeah, exactly. So props to him. But yeah, Geranium, did you make your prediction? I forgot.
Yeah, I barely. I think Just in Time, or sorry, I think Team Justin is going to win just barely here.
Okay.
But really, really, really close.
So
I
none of these
think,
picks are unanimous then. That's pretty fun.
yeah. I feel like one of them should be, but I don't know. Whatever. Anyways, now going into the more individual matches, I think we can talk about what are the most exciting matches to look forward to.
Well, also
otherwise-
before we forget though, let's also mention that Fish is having some audio issues, but he wanted to make sure everybody knows that his predictions for these match wins are going to be Geranium's PLEs, Bluefish, F2L, and Defias.
Yeah, my laptop's being noisy, so I'm pretty much keeping muted. I'll try to be talking in between when it's not being noisy. But yeah, you guys will at least there's 3 other people here to keep things rolling while I'm just doing the behind the scenes.
I'm happy to fill in for you, Geranium. My pleasure.
But yeah, so we cover so much because we also have to cover pro playoffs. So I just want to quick say the match I'm most looking forward to. I think is going to be the one that's on stream this Friday, which is myself versus Jess Fine. Yeah, as you can see, the PR is super duper close. Win record is super duper close. And I also respect Jess Fine quite a lot because he is on my hero team. So it is a pretty exciting week for me at least.
Yep, I would say
Dude,
so.
You guys are within 4 PR of each other.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that is the match to watch for this one. Is your match versus Jess? It's really cool to know that it's going to be on stream, especially as you guys are friends and captain and player and opponents here. This is really cool. I love when these types of things happen in THO.
You would think it would hurt to beat a friend, but I don't think.
I think it's more
I don't think
fun.
I'll feel hurt when I do.
It's more fun to play against people you know.
I hope so.
All right.
Yeah, Eternal versus Mighty Biz also looks very close, but on to the next, I think, set here.
Yeah, what's next?
The next one is going to be Bluefish versus oh man, why am I forgetting off the top of my head here? Going to be Bluefish versus Dirty Mike and the Boys. Robocats versus Khasgar, A2 Battleship versus Astro Frog, Hickett versus Megu, Dead Snoop versus Tony Montana, and Judo Chop versus Lefty 2111. What is the most exciting one you think from all those?
I'm gonna say for me, it's gonna be Astro Frog versus A2. Because A2 has
That's
been
what I was gonna say.
well, great
You
minds
stole
think
it from
alike.
me.
Prove it.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, no, I think that one is going to be the most exciting just because A2 is he has the best record on the team And Astral Frog has proven time and time again what a strong player he is, especially being the brother of the one and only Based. But it'll be. I'm very curious to see how this plays out as far as like can he handle somebody of A2's caliber? I think he certainly can. But I'm very curious to see how this plays out either way. I think he's got momentum on his side that he's probably got one of the best chances possible to beat him in this situation. So I'd love to see a good upset here. And yes, Astral Pog indeed, Megu. Astral Pog indeed.
Yeah. Astral Frog also just came off of a win that brought them into playoffs, so already experienced with sort of carrying the team on his back. But I'm actually going to be excited, I think, for Khasgar versus Robocats. Robocats is insanely good. Has been playing in the 1 seed for 2 seasons, and I think it's a great matchup for Khasgar here.
Yeah, I think that's going to be pretty exciting. Khasgar is not the most well-known player in THL, but he definitely deserves a fair amount of attention. He is very strong, very skilled at this game, and I think he's a formidable 1 seed for sure.
Yeah, he's been around a good little while now, but he definitely knows what he's doing.
Yes. Not as long as some other players, but this is like his 3rd or 4th season at least, so he's not a rookie by any stretch of the imagination either.
No, he knows what he's doing. That's definitely a good matchup right there. The Robocats and Khasgar and Astral Frog and A2. Mm-hmm. I think I'd like the A2 versus Astral Frog just because they're having such a good season. Individually, they're both having really good seasons. So,
right.
Like to see them two go head to head would just be stellar.
It's fair. It's pretty fair.
Yeah. Very strong teams though. But the next two, F2L White and the Cult Legacy, have quite a few insane matches as well.
See, I tell you right now, I want to see Quaz versus Slod. I want to see them duke it out. I want to see how Quaz is doing these days because he's doing really good. Like he's. I remember when Quaz was just a 50 PR, 1-7, getting carried by the team. So to see him like carrying the team, that's some good stuff. Wow, he's doing really good. He's not even carrying the team. My goodness, he's doing stellar.
No, his wife is.
And Slod, yeah, exactly. And Slod, when he first joined THL, I knew this guy was going to be good because I think he joined Seas of Cheese on there with Siege and me, and he was so dedicated. Like he tried so hard, and I know that guy. Like anything he puts his mind to, he's probably gonna. I think if anybody's gonna beat Quaz in the 4 seed, it's gonna be Slod, but it's gonna be tough. I'd like to see that matchup right there.
And I'm actually super excited to see Rice Bowl versus Rebob. I know Rebob is extremely good, and Rice Bowl has a negative record right now. But if you remember last season, Rice Bowl was right at the top of the 2 seeds, and seeing him in the 3 seed is going to make this a pretty high skill match.
Yeah, both of those guys shouldn't be in the 3 seeds, so oof. It's gonna be intense for sure. But Quaz versus Slad, I'm definitely and Sharkbait versus Totino's Pizza, definitely also ones to look out for. I feel like every single match here is gonna be pretty exciting.
Okay. And there's one more final match to cover, which is Team Justin versus Defias Brotherhood. 2 teams that are tied in points. We sort of talked a little bit about Justin versus Wild9, or always just in time. I have to specify which Justin versus Wild9 in the 1. But there's plenty of really good matches to focus on here. I think I, for one, am looking forward to Skirt Reynolds versus the Real Allure in the 5. Skirt Reynolds has been playing out of his mind in past seasons in Hero. Now is here in Legacy and going about even. And the Real Allure is doing very well himself. I've seen their play sort of more uphand since Defias was a gold conference team, and I think both of these guys are really, really skilled.
I really like. I'm most interested. Okay, I'm most interested in the Wild9 versus Always Just in Time matchup here. But
Same.
I'm getting a little bit tickled by just like these names. Gamer Dude versus Classy Thug. I don't know either of these guys, but man, y'all can really pick them. I like y'all's names. Gamer Dude, Classy Thug.
Adjective now.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my goodness. But yes, no, Wild9 versus Always Just in Time. I think I'm most interested in. I don't know that I've ever seen Wild9 play.
I've casted a bit with Wild9. I will say earlier we were saying that Always Just in Time is really, really good. I want to talk a little bit to Wild9 being really good too. I think actually Wild9 is up on Justin in the head-to-head here. So even though he's down on the season, I do think that it is extremely even. It's going to be very interesting to see who wins.
Mm. Yeah, this one, as we said, it seems very, very close. Very hard to call at the moment.
But yeah, that is everything Legacy. A lot of very, very good matches to keep an eye out for. And now you got to keep an eye out for, I believe, an advertisement.
Yeah, go ahead, take it away.
So we'll do. I mean, if I could just stall for just one last second here, while I, whatever clacking my keyboard is doing. But thank you so much for tuning in to Tavern Talk. If you're enjoying our show, make sure you check out Around the Saloon and the Maniacal Tournament series on Mondays, and Ronnie Tuesday on Heart Center on Sunday. You will never guess. Are you still asking, where's my content? Well, we're shooting THL matches each night from Thursday to Sunday, starting at 8 or 9 p.m. Eastern. All evening match schedules are to be determined by cast and playability. Side effects may include knowledge and fun. But wait, that's not all. We also have Wild and Out, a show on Thursdays that covers everything going on with Wild. You can see that you're not covering Wild here tonight. That is because we're covering it on Wild and Out, a very, very good show hosted by Marty B, having Tom Carter and some other great names in Hearthstone. So you should make sure you check that out. And we also have Schoolstone, which is on afternoons on the weekend. So we have matches every single day, essentially. Speaking of which, because we have all those matches every single day, please consider subscribing to our Twitch channel. This subscription enables the THL team to cover various costs of our operating website and improve the quality of our streams and our content to our viewers. And I see someone asking in our chat, what is Twitch Prime? Yeah, that's what I asked. Well, Twitch Prime is or Prime Gaming is a subscription service you can use. It is for free. You can go and click the little purple button that's right below the stream. You can go ahead and sub. A few people have done it already tonight. It's completely free to you, and it just helps us out, making sure the streams are continuing and going strong. So hit that heart button and keep the notifications on to make sure you catch all of our streams live. We appreciate each and every one of you, especially in order of viewers. Check out THL's other social media points of interest. The website is at teamhearthlegends.com. Follow us on Twitter at THL_HS. Join us on Discord at Team Hearth Legends. THL PW podcast is wherever podcasts are missing, and Players of the Week can also be found every single week on the Discord, and are probably going to stop for the most part, except for Hero, because that is the only series still going on.
Womp womp.
I'm pretty sure we
Nice.
still have players of the week up until finals.
Yeah, I thought they
Yeah,
kept doing it.
Yeah,
you
we
know?
still have it. Yeah, it'll just go away when the
Well,
season's over. There we go.
oops.
It's all good. Anyways, we have
Whoopsie doopsie.
pro left cover, which means we got one last bracket to show this week. Shout outs to Marty B for this bracket. We are NHL and J fan. Geranium provided us with our legacy bracket.
This is a bracket right here.
This
Okay,
bracket.
whoever did that legacy one needs to
Damn.
take notes.
I should take, yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean,
I'll
it's not
improve
our
it
fault.
next
Legacy's convoluted with 24 teams. It would be nice and clean like this. All right, so matchups this week. Top left, Brushy Tuna himself versus Popeye Spicy Chicken Sandwich. Top right, we've got the 5 Boxing Wizards Jumping Quickly versus No Pros here. Bottom left, For the Clowns versus Sheepies. Please ignore my computer because I'm just going to plug through this. Bottom right, Undivided versus Bread Ape.
Speaking of Brushy Tuna,
Yeah.
this beer, he recommended me drink this beer for a long time, Yingling, and I
Yes.
finally got a hold of it. So
Yo, I live like an hour
this
and a
one's
half
for
from
you,
the
buddy.
brewery. I live like an hour and a half from the brewery, dude. I gotta get down there.
Cheers.
Cheers
Tuna.
to that. Yeah, cheers to tuna. Yeah, this is an interesting match. Popeyes versus Brushy. I guess we can start there as Brushy Tuna had the most points. Or Brushy Tuna actually did not have the most points. That would be Boxing Wizards. But they are on the top right, so we'll start top left. I think this is an interesting week. A little bit of underperformance from Popeyes this season. They're going to be deadly coming into playoffs potentially. I think Brushy Tuna does get the week overall, but it's going to be a close one.
I don't think it's gonna be
Yeah,
close at all. I think Tuna is gonna just slam them, just take them and just bam, just God, right in the dirt. Just
I don't know. I'm not
You
betting.
know,
I'm
Love
not,
the noise commentary.
not betting against a team with a wet goose and a GM and Lampy series on it. Not going to count them out.
nah.
Yeah, I also agree with, it's not going to be close. I do think that that Donde and the rest of his team are going to get stopped.
Mm.
As you know, Donde in the 5, you know, I think he'll continue to be in that 5 seed, and you know, stopping everyone else from moving down this week.
Yeah.
But yeah, honestly, honest Babe versus Base Stink is what I'm looking out for here.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Excuse me.
You're excused.
Oh god, this is hard to predict. I have not been paying close enough attention to pro, honestly, so it's really hard for me to say who do I think is going to win, even with some of the standout teams being pretty recognizable. I'll defer to you guys.
I'll
Just
make it a bit
a
easier.
good-
Brushy Tuna had a strong start. Brushy Tuna had a strong start, and then now a weak end, and I think they're going to continue that weak end. Goodbye, Brushy Tuna.
Oof.
Wow. Oh, that was dirty. That weekend. Oh my God.
I'm a little sad that it's Brushy Tuna versus Popeyes in the first round, though. I would have definitely preferred those guys face each other, at least in the semifinals. I guess, you know what, I'll say Brushy Tuna for the Clowns, the Wizards, and Bread Ape winning the first set of matches.
Okay.
Okay. So I think we got opinions on that first match there. So we're going to move on now to the actual team with the most points here, which is the 5 Boxing Wizards. Jump quickly. Another Diamond team versus NPH. No pros here. We're doing so much better in pro than in hero, and yeah, I just think that the 5 Boxing Wizards jump quickly is going to be in the finals. So that makes this prediction a bit easier.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
the
also
5,
agree.
the Wizards here are looking really super strong. I mean, they've got an undefeated guy on the team, and another guy at 7-1. My God, like, how do you fight against that? Do you just
Maybe you
tread
don't.
water against that? I mean, I guess you try.
Yeah, I
I'm
mean,
definitely thinking the Wizards take it this week. There is no way.
Mm,
Who beat them? Oh my God, they actually have a loss?
you do
seems
I
that
actually.
way.
I want to say it was like Sheepies. I think I might be wrong. I don't know. I haven't kept track of who beat the Wizards. Um,
Well,
but yeah, I mean, I think Wizards take this one way or the other. They're playing really well in MPH. While they have had a nice season, and they did not come in out below 500 record, as was a possibility if they had not won last week. In their match. So if they had come in 3-5, they probably still could have made playoffs with how like large the point disparity was in Black Conference.
No, they beat Sheepies.
Oh, okay. That's
yeah.
interesting then. I mean, I would guess it's one of the other could be one of the other playoffs teams, but it might have been like somebody like F2L
It was
or
Popeyes. Popeyes beat them.
oh Popeyes. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Well,
12
now
to
we know.
14.
There we go. 12 to 14.
14.
Close week. Yeah.
Well, we may see Popeyes meet them in finals then, since they're not going to lose first week to Brushy Tuna.
Mhm.
But now
Wow.
on to the next match here, which is For the Clowns versus Sheepies. I think,
Clowns. I'm biased.
yeah, I don't think it's I don't think you have to be that biased to say clowns here.
Yeah, they're
Yeah,
close.
I mean it's
This
kind of close, but I think the Clowns just look a little better up and down the board. They all have better records, if not like either the same or better records. They got more points. They're doing better. I hadn't looked at
Yeah.
what their past couple weeks look like, but they're doing really good. I'm thinking it's going to be the Clowns here.
I mean,
Yeah,
once
I do think it's close, but I also do feel confident saying it's going to be for the Clowns.
once again you take the For the Boys team that won 2 seasons ago, and you take the Yasharaj's Clown College team that got top 4 2 seasons ago. You smush them together, and I mean top 4 team at least.
Yep,
So moving on.
pretty much.
One last match here is Bread Ape versus Undivided. Really quickly, I mean Bread Ape won last season. Only switches they put Avi in.
I'm not biased here. Okay, I think it's gonna be Bread Ape like every day of the week. I mean, look at these guys. They got Heat Shock and Ufric and CMAC and Aviously and this guy I don't know named Baldus is killing it. Like
Mm.
my goodness, how do you root against that?
you don't. It's Bread Ape. We already had
Right.
last year. Last season we had Shed Ape, and this year we have Bread Ape. This season, and I don't see them losing this week. I mean, Undivided did pull a 23-point week to make playoffs. Against a very good team. But Bread Ape's just kind of on that other level. They're the second highest point scorers out of Black Conference, which was very competitive at the top.
Mm.
I mean, obviously every conference is competitive. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Undivided came off of an insane week, where they just barely made playoffs, from being pretty far out of it, and unfortunately, I just think they're going to be out of it in the second week.
JR, your thoughts?
I don't know what else I can really add to this one. I mean, you got the returning champions basically coming back and living up to the return hype. So it does feel hard to bet against them. Especially when they're really showing up. They are really showing up this season.
Yeah. So now we can jump into more specifics on the matches here. Let's bring up that Brushy Tuna versus Popeyes. Talk about the specifics here.
Matches on screen.
Yeah. I mean, as I said before, I'm most excited for Honest Abe versus Based Inc. What are you guys excited for, though?
I see Ron Mexico and Myanodon. I really do. I mean, they're two of my favorite people, and they are just like they're having stellar seasons. And my goodness, I bet they're gonna put on a show.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to Les Mick versus Ducharmeau.
Yeah, making the 2 seed versus the Sharmo is going to be insane too. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't wait for Basting versus Zabe. It's going to be very, very pog.
Now, 5 Boxing Wizards jump quickly versus No Pros Here.
Yeah. My most match I'm looking forward to is Total Orange versus Pee Wee.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a good one.
I
And
like the looks of this Dardar versus Loldenenko. This looks like a pretty good match right here.
Mhm.
I would say Donkey versus your mom kid, but I mean, do you really want to just watch Donkey beat somebody?
Somehow Agent PWE is in the 3, and then his opponent is still insane. So, like, yeah, Agent PWE versus Total Orange.
I'm actually most excited for Donkey versus your mom kid.
So you just want to watch Donkey beat somebody? Okay.
I mean, I think your mom kid could give him his first loss. I'm not counting him out.
All right, yeah, that's fair. Your mom kid's good. I'm
Not
sorry,
just
your
saying
mom
that
kid.
because
I
I'm bitter
don't
over
mean
losing
to
to your mom kid
trash
4
talk that
times.
bad.
Yeah, I mean, all I'm saying is Donkey owns the website, but
He doesn't own our
named after him?
souls, though. Yet, at least.
I'm about 1 season away from him owning my soul bone.
How does that work?
Look, if he can give me the lowdown, deal with the devil doesn't sound too bad. But we got to continue on with Sheepies versus For the Clowns, and that top seed match, Nails versus Y the Hunter. I'm looking for that.
I'm still deciding on the match I want to see.
For me,
Nothing really stands out to me here. I'll be honest. Why the Hunter versus Nails definitely looks good. Always Lethal versus Super Chicken kind of stands out a little bit. I think that's probably going to be a good one.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I think Dardar in chat saying Pascoa versus Sheepies. Like Sheepies is the namesake of this team. He better show up. He better show up versus Pascoa.
That's true. That's true. How about you, Jr.? What are you thinking?
Well, since any match with Nails is pretty exciting, and considering he's the 1 seed right now, I'm gonna go with Nails versus Y the Hunter.
I'll go with Neji versus Mikos. The deck matchups are pretty interesting for this match because we have classes and so we have deck submissions. I was just looking at them while I was deciding, and I like their overall matchup.
Hmm.
Yeah, as you said, we do have the decks in for Neji versus because here we also have it for Y the Hunter versus Nails.
Yep, that they submitted after I got the screenshot, but I did see that they have classes.
Can't say I'm very surprised by anything that Y the Hunter has submitted here. Nails submitting, you know, classic Nails decks, except for I guess the Anaconda Druid.
Beat Warrior! He
Yeah.
brought it! Again, I'm pretty sure. Okay.
Yeah, I think I'm going to give the slight edge to Nails on these decks because he brought basically just Garrote counters plus Garrote. And then we see a Garrote on Y the Hunter's side. But enough about specifics here. Going into the final two teams. The final two teams are Bread Ape versus Undivided.
I already know, man. It's going to be that Ufric versus Starlax match. Oh, that's going to be one right there. I know these guys pretty well, and they're really good. Like they're going to try to pick each other apart.
Yeah, you could see Starlax isn't allowed above the 5 because just because he hasn't had enough weeks yet to win all that much. So yeah, Starlax versus Ufric is very, very competitive.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to. I the only two players I really have familiarity with on the Undivided is Starlax and Chewy, and I played Chewy in like a small little tournament, last Saturday, and he handed me 2 losses. It was an interesting format, but he did beat me in the series. I am interested in him versus Valdis, for sure.
Yeah, Chewy versus Valdis. I mean, knowing Chewy is pretty established, and pretty well known against somebody lesser known like Valdis. I like the odds of that being a pretty intense match overall.
Okay, I think that's going to be everyone's thoughts on Pro here. Yeah, we've got sort of the same team names you love to see back again. A few new ones here. Brushy Tuna with Boxing Wizards jumped quickly with Undivided coming in sort of as new teams, but some of the old standbys we think are going to continue winning. Now, last time, Sage, if you remember, I didn't interview you, and you were a little bit questioning again. So I did actually make an interview for you this time, so we're going to go into that before we end off the show with stream announcements.
Oh,
So,
cool. Okay.
Sage,
Yes.
if there was a federal law requiring you to show up some amount to events, what would be the minimum Sage?
Oh my goodness.
Oh boy.
The minimum stage, I want to say 6.5%.
Okay, and would you fight against if they were to raise the minimum Sage?
Oh my god.
I don't know. Probably not at first. And then I'd have to put a hard stop to it. You know, like
Yeah.
there's only so much sage I can give. All right.
Gotta keep some for yourself.
Yes.
Also, would you be in favor of adding a page to the THL website that tracks head-to-head records for players, so long as the only record that it tracks is the head-to-head between you and JR?
Sure.
Wait, why am I being brought into this?
I'm
I
pretty
didn't
sure
ask you a question.
I'd be positive.
Okay, you have recently stood against the killing of our natural Murloc tinyfin population. Would you mind ranking the 0-mana 1/1s in order of which you would first save from a burning building?
Oh man, that's tough. Uh,
I can quick
I,
remind you of
I,
them
I
if you need.
yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, there's obviously Murloc tinyfin. Uh,
Yeah.
There's the Desk Imp. Those are the ones that are in standard right now.
Okay.
There is the Wisp, the old, the classic. There
Yeah.
is Snow Flipper Penguin.
Is
And
there
that is
anything
it.
else?
Those are the four.
Okay, I think I'd have to go with the snow flipper, and then the tiny fin, and then the desk imp, and then the wisp. I mean, the wisp is already a ghost. What's the point?
You'd save a Murloc tinyfin, but you wouldn't save a Wisp. Okay. My opinion.
I'd leave the wisp in there, man. Like he probably likes it.
It's okay. No, it's fine. It's fine.
I'm pretty sure the wisp could just fly out of the building because it's a wisp.
And
It
you
is
come on
natural.
now,
It
like
is naturally
the
like kind of a
penguin
ghost.
with his little snowboard
I know.
that's made out of snow.
No flip.
Yeah, but the penguin would resist the fire. You know, it would resist the fire a bit more because it's so cold going in. Anyways, I mean, I just think it's sort of like an emotional thing. Like
I feel.
You're leaving the Wisp, and it feels the abandonment. I think, but that's okay. Have to move on with.
There's
the
no
interview
good
here.
answer then at that point if we're ranking it, because there's always going to be one at the end. Yeah.
What about the desk imp? We just forget about the desk imp.
Desk Imp's
Yeah,
good.
we did.
Desk Imp's a good card.
So, Sage, what is your favorite secret base video? I know that you said you like those. What is your secret base video, and why is it by John Boyce?
Oh my goodness, man. Probably the one where is wait, no, I don't think it's even a secret base video. I think it's just the John Boyce video where he talks about what was it? It was college football. It was the most lopsided victory in college football history, where it was like Georgia Tech versus I forget what the other team is, but they won like 222-0, and that was just it's like an hour long, and I could watch it all over again. That was so hilarious. I think at some point like a dog got on the field and chased players around in the middle of a play. Like, oh my god, like that whole entire story is just a trip from front to back.
The dog even took a player out of contention, like injured them so much they compete. Yeah. There were so few players, but they were forced to continue playing because of a weird rule in the system where they couldn't forfeit. It was
yeah. No, actually, in the last half of the game, Heisman, the guy that the Heisman Trophy is named after, was the captain or the coach of of Georgia Tech, right? And he actually gave him a little slack in the last half of the game, where he let them reduce the number of minutes in the quarters during the last half. It went from like I want to say 14 or 15 minutes to like he let them reduce it to 12 minutes, so that way they didn't have to play as much and get beat as bad. But he made sure that they would be there. He there was a clause where like if they didn't show up, they would have to pay like $500. And bear in mind, this is like in 1916 or something. So like $500 in 1916 is like 10 grand today or something crazy like that. And he said, if y'all don't show up, then y'all are gonna have to pay us this amount. And so like whatever team it was that they were up against, they had to throw together a team because they just disbanded their football team uh, that season, and so they had to throw a team together in order to send them there to get beat by Georgia Tech. And this is all because of a grudge, because the team they were up against, their baseball team had beaten Georgia Tech by like 22-0, right? And Heisman was the coach of that team as well, and he had a grudge against them for doing that to him. So he was like, "We're gonna do it even harder to y'all."
I would like to talk about Secret Base more after this, but we do have to continue the show. I will say, however, the video that on Secret Base about Bobs in sports is also fantastic. Highly recommend that.
Yes. Oh my goodness.
Final question here for Sage.
Like, where did the Bobs go?
Final question for Sage. I'm a little lost in life, so I'm looking for a bit of Sage advice. What would be the advice you would give for an up-and-comer hero team captain who can't seem to win against your team?
Just try to keep your team communicating, man. Like that's the number one key to success is communication. And like it doesn't mean you're going to win. Like there are plenty of teams that, communicate and still lose, but like that's the number one key to success. All right. If you want to have a good, successful team, or at least a good time when you're playing in THL, then make sure everybody on your team is talking and participating, and you'll have fun regardless of how you're doing. And try to keep your heads up. Like if you're having a tough time, just try to keep everybody's head in the game, and don't let anybody get demoralized. It can happen too easy, especially if you're trying real hard. Like taking an L when you're trying so hard, just it feels real bad. But just communicate and try to have fun. That's all there really is to it. And yeah, if your team isn't talking, then they're not going to win. I can guarantee you that.
Thank you for communicating with me in this short little interview here. Now, Fisha, is your microphone working enough to do the final stream announcements? I may have to.
Apparently not.
Well, now.
Oops. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and announce the upcoming streams for this weekend. So as I said before in the advertisement, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, every single day there's streams. And on Thursday specifically, it is looking like we got a match for you. At 8 p.m., it is Judo Chop from Bluefish versus Lefty 2111 from Dirty Mike and the Boys. Yeah, they're both pretty well matched. They've got the same record in the 5. Going to be an interesting one. And casters for that are going to be Heat Shock and Dr. Fish once his mic problems are all fixed up.
Oh,
Friday night.
Everything's good. But you go ahead.
Okay.
No, you keep going. You're good.
Okay. For Friday night fights, it is going to be first at 8 p.m. from Khasgar versus Super Chicken. That is Tam Pam's Surf Slam versus Turt. Even though we don't have Turt, we must still skirt. At 9 p.m., move on with another Hero Series match. It is Neji Boston of F2L Black versus Ron Mexico of Bolner Jam 03. A one-seed match there. At 10 p.m., it is a legacy match between Dranium Battle, it's hard to pronounce, from Agent P. Ellie and the Light Showers versus Jess Spine of IDK, Illidan's Death Knights. The casters for that night are going to be Saku and
Or
a
Corridon.
variety. Yeah, probably going to be Corridon. The BGs has ended, but Corridon still stays on Friday Night Fights. Salty Saturday, if you guys are looking to be on Salty Saturday night, that is currently looking open. I usually cast that with Wild 9, but so far no matches yet, so time's free for you guys. Schoolstone, though, that is going to be a little bit earlier on Saturday, 4 p.m. There is Bone Masher of Aussie Pain Merchants versus Nice Jewish Owl of Overpowered Wild Leaderboard. Casters underestimate me. That is a wild match. And I also believe that is a match from last week. So I'm if
Yeah,
it's
that's from last week.
okay.
Sorry, yeah,
My mistake.
I messed that up. I didn't remove it.
So actually, Schoolstone on Saturday and Sunday both look open if you want to be on there. It doesn't have to just be wild. I know that it's usually more of a wild things happening on Saturday and standard on Sunday. It doesn't have to be. Casters will fill it out just the same. So if you are free just afternoons on Saturday, Sunday, let us know. And Sunday Showdown is also looking free. A lot of free times this week if you guys want to be on stream.
Yep. I'm not sure if there's actually any matches for Sunday Showdown. It shows some stuff on there, but it shows Donde versus Itachi, which already happened. So maybe that was like an original plan and it got changed. But I know that there will be no more Battlegrounds. That's the only thing I really know for Friday.
Yeah, that
for
season
Friday's
has
Sunday.
ended, as we all know.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, I think Saturday we're looking for an op as well. We're looking for an op for that. I didn't put any matches down because Wild 9 won't be around.
Right.
So maybe if we get an op, I think it'll be myself and Quaz and Hero at 8 on Saturday. So that'll be a good one. But other than that, I think that's all we got for this week.
That really covers
if you want to have your match, if you want to have your match streamed, contact Lotus Knight, contact myself, contact Saku, and we'll send you to the right person. We really would love to get as many matches for Legacy playoffs and Pro playoffs as possible. Obviously, Hero and Wild are always included in that, but I like to see a lot of playoff matches get streamed. It's very exciting. Very exciting time of the season, as always. So,
Yeah, no, but it's been one hell of a show. Seasons, we've still got plenty to talk about. But in the meantime, I think we're gonna call it a night. We're going to see you guys in a week. We'll have, of course, be covering all of the playoff matches that are coming up, and we'll be talking about the Hero Series playoff picture in great detail. I just want to say thank you to Sage for being our guest tonight. It's been a pleasure.
Oh, thank you guys so much for having me. It was kind of a last second thing for me. I know I'd volunteered a couple days ago, but I mean, I was just happy to be able to show up. If y'all need me again, I should be having some Wednesdays off here for the next couple weeks straight. So I'll be around if y'all need a guest.
All right.
Sounds good. Anyway, I am JR Juggerlaw. This has been another episode of Tavern Talk, and we hope you all enjoy the rest of your night and the rest of your week. Stay safe and take care.
Take care, everybody.
Greeting, traveler.